Hello and welcome to Sobrix. I'm Adam and this is Sobrix. This is my channel for reviewing LEGO sets and building them and other LEGO related stuff. In this video I'm going to be taking a look at the LEGO Ninjago Water Dragon set. This is set number 71754. It has 737 pieces and I paid $70 for this set. Now, I think this set is retired. I was between this set and another Ninjago Dragon. I think they were both $70. I think they had maybe a 10-piece difference. I think there's one that has 747 pieces. But this one looked like it had more interesting minifigures, especially this one here. And it looked like the colors were more interesting to me and a different style of build for Ninjago Dragons that I wasn't extremely familiar with, and so I did want to check this one out, and I figured this one might be more in line with what I wanted to get at this particular moment, so I decided on this one. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So, until then, enjoy! Okay, so while we look at the build for this LEGO Ninjago Water Dragon set, I wanted to say thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. And then I wanted to remind you that if you like this video, click the thumbs up, give it a like, and if you like my channel, subscribe to it by clicking the subscribe button. And then I wanted to talk a little bit about the build. So we start off doing, putting together some of the minifigures here. In my review, I constantly get some of the minifigures names wrong. Then we do kind of some side buildy stuff here. So we kind of do this small submarine and then this small kind of seabed landscape kind of shrine or something like that. And then after the first bag, you go on to the dragon, and then some of the other minifigures will be kind of in other bags, kind of dispersed throughout the set, including some minifigures that I really like. So I talk about those a lot in my review. Right now we're building the base, like kind of torso area, chest area, the middle section of the dragon, and there's actually an interesting kind of technic bit in the middle there that will later be the function for the wings to flap, and it's kind of hard to see how that mechanism works, but it's really simple. There's a couple technic pieces inside the torso that get actually hidden pretty well, which is I was really happy with. There's not too many stickers on this set, but there are a few, and again, the stickers are kind of subtle and a little bit hidden as well, which I appreciated. I thought they were really like additive or just added to the set rather than like detracting or there being too many of them. So I really appreciated that. We do a little bit of a back section there, and then we're on to the next bag of pieces here with another minifigure, a really interesting one. And now we start putting together the legs. So these legs are somewhat similar to other LEGO Dragon legs. They use some of those kind of ratchet joint pieces. These ones use the like L plate or that corner plate that's like a 2x4 and then off. I don't know how to describe it. It's like an L shape, but we use that, and then we brick built feet and everything like that. There's some nice little details of the kind of minifigure flippers that are used or fins that are used there. Now we start building out kind of the neck, which isn't that long. I think for some Ninjago Dragons they might have a bit of a longer neck, but this one has such a long body and a long tail, which is what we're working on now, using some nice techniques, some good pieces here, and gives it a ton of posability, sort of. The joints for the tail don't really like hold in place necessarily, so once it is in a spot, it doesn't necessarily like hold there, but it can move around a lot and it can articulate a lot, which is really good. That's something I appreciate. We have some extra details here for the head, including the special like molded head pieces with some printing and stuff. And then we use kind of a Technic frame for the wings. And then the wings for this are actually a cloth cloth, and they came folded up in a little cardboard box that are sometimes in a bag of pieces, and I thought that was really interesting, but I really enjoyed it. And now back to my review for this set. Okay, so here we have this LEGO Ninjago Water Dragon set. This is pretty awesome, and I'm pretty happy with it. I don't have a ton of experience with Ninjago Dragons. It's been a little while since I've looked at a Ninjago set. I did really like some of the dragons, or at least one of the dragons from the new Dragon Rising Wave, particularly the Thunder Dragon versus the Empress mech. I thought that dragon was pretty well done. I've liked a lot of Ninjago mechs, but I don't have a ton of experience with the dragons. I think I've built maybe one or two more. So this was really interesting. This was different than the other ones because it's a water dragon. So I'm interested in getting into what those differences entail. But there's a lot of things to look at here, and some of those things are minifigures, so we'll look at those first, and I'll move this dragon out of the way here. So you get 5 minifigures in this set, but the minifigure selection is actually one of the reasons that I ended up getting this set versus a different Ninjago Dragon set that actually had more pieces for a similar price here, because there was some minifigures that I was really interested in. And we'll start just with the kind of more basic ones. You get 2 of these, and these are the Maaray guards. They have a similar head, or the same head as like the snake people, but these are maybe manta ray based things, or eels, or something. They're underwater. They're Maaray guards here. So dual molded kind of snake head piece there, nice color. I like the black a lot. They do have the kind of pauldrons in gold. Has an accessory here using the black kind of dragon hilt, which is really cool to get. And then this is kind of a barb or a foliage element that looks really great. They have the same color hands as they do flippers down here, which is really nice. Looking at the torso, super detailed printing, the scales around the side, the different panels for abdominals and different stuff is really nice. Printing on the midsection, I love that. It's kind of like a chain link belt or something. And then we have printing down onto the legs. Again, really fine details, some fine lines, some stripes, some scales. Excellent stuff. Can't see the full back here, but we do have more printing on the rear, so that's really nice. And I will show the other one, which again is another one of the Maaray guards. I think everything is pretty much the same. They do have a different accessory here, so it uses kind of a sai, or one of these 3-pronged accessories on the black dragon hilt there. And I'll pop off the pauldron just so we can see the rest of the back. So we'll get rid of the shoulder piece there, and we can see the back of the printing. That's the same for both of these. So these are really good. I like these snake figures a lot, or these snake-headed ones. So that's really cool. You get 2 of those. That's good for play, and they're really nice minifigures. Printing on the midsection, printing on the legs, and the accessories are all very cool. Then we will look at Scuba Cole here. Scuba Zane. Cole is the he's like the earth one or whatever. So we have Scuba Zane. So I always liked Zane's color scheme there. They have a nice accessory here with the gray and then the kind of ski pole in gold there. They also have their kind of silverish, grayish katana. Really cool Scuba Ninjago headpiece here. So that's dual molded. The goggles don't come off at all, so that's all together. With Zane's classic head there, kind of the robot head, the silvery head, no alternate face, but he does have something on the back there. Really excellent torso design here. Tons of really fine details, which is really nice to see. We do have printing on the midsection, but we also have something between the midsection and the legs, and then we have printing down onto the legs into the feet, which is nice. And I think this is the first time I encountered this piece, but this kind of rubberized piece, which is used as the breathing apparatus here, goes around the waist and then also goes around the neck, and I think that's really smart. It looks really good, and it just works. You can see the printing on the midsection there. It gets covered up a little bit by the kind of breathing apparatus here, but it's kind of worth it for that. And you can still see the bit of the tie there and printing all the way down to the feet, which is really nice. I guess I should have shown the back of Zane while I had the breathing apparatus off, and I'll do that here. So we can see the back again, really detailed, some metallic printing in there. So a really good version of Scuba Zane. And then as far as other Ninjago characters go, we have the NRG version of Nia. And this is really, really interesting. So we can see it doesn't look like just a normal minifigure here, because we have a ton of stuff going on. We have these nice translucent water bits or something coming off. It uses kind of that Doc Ock, that's what I call it, I guess, but like the accessory that goes around the neck back there. We have this really awesome hairpiece and kind of the translucent there, and has the dual molding for the band. This is really, really special. They have a kind of white or light aqua kind of headpiece here. They do have the mask kind of going in front of it. They also have power blasts in their hands. So let me take those off, and I'll actually pop off the other accessories here so we can take a look at it without those. And I'll pop the hairpiece back on there. So really good printing for the face, pretty unique. I love the translucent arm over here, so mismatched arms. Printing on the torso is really good, printing on the midsection and printing on the legs, and it kind of continues this sort of wave formation going on there. And then it has this really interesting, I believe, dual molded kind of stand piece that I'm not super familiar with. If I take it out of there, we can see the printing on the legs, the midsection there, and then we have printing on the rear as well, which is very good. But this is a piece that the minifigure can stand in right here, and it's super intricately molded, and it has translucent and non-translucent or opaque kind of colors in there, and it matches really well, and it works really, really well. So having that piece combined with all of this around the back, combined with the power blasts for the minifigure hands and the little mask here, really, really cool accessories, super unique. I don't think I've seen something exactly like this, or not this mold specifically, even though I've seen some other snake figures from Ninjago that have something kind of similar to this. They're not the exact same, so I was really happy to get that. And then the last minifigure you get here is one that I was also very, very interested in, and this is Prince Kalmaar here. So this is excellent. We have the big gold trident with the kind of gold sai down there. Prince Kalmaar has a different kind of pauldron with kind of these spikes coming off of it. They have sort of a, I don't know what kind of head this is supposed to be, if it's squid-ish or octopus. It's very kind of Lovecraftian and cosmic horror, old gods type stuff for me. But I believe this is dual molded for the webbing between around the kind of phalanges of the head there. Really interesting shaped head, nice printing with some scales on the forehead for the eyes and the mouth. And I can pop that off so we can see how that all looks. The rear has a little extra fins back here. So this is a really cool minifigure head. Then the torso is just a normal minifigure torso, but super detailed, has nice lines, nice gold printing in there. There's no midsection in this because it doesn't use legs, but then we have this really specialized kind of octopus, squid sort of tail or extra limbs down here, which is really awesome. And I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe, plus the arms, 6, 7, but maybe I'm missing something down here. So I think it's supposed to be, a cephalopod of some sort, or an octopus of some sort, or a squid or whatever. But we do have printing on this special kind of molded feet piece or base piece here as well. And it's, again, super detailed. It meshes up really nice against the torso, has the gold, has some really fine lines for scales, some nice subtle color changes. So that's really, really excellent. So 5 minifigures here. Ninjago minifigures, for me, the more I've gotten into this theme, they've often really impressed me with the amount of detail, the level of detail that can be had in these Ninjago minifigures. So not only is there great accessories and cool, interesting designs and different shapes and styles for heads and for bodies and torsos and whatever. There's just tons of really unique stuff here, and they all have printing on the legs, all have printing on the midsection, if they have a midsection. And so they're really, really good. None of these have printing on the arms, but that's okay because the rest of it is all so good, and there's really excellent production work done for all of these, which is nice to see. I think the NRG Nia and the Prince Kalmaar are particular standouts to me because they're so unique. I think Cole is quite good as well. Or I keep saying Cole, Zane, the Scuba Zane is quite good as well. So very lovely to see all of those. And then besides the minifigures and besides the dragon, we get a couple side buildy things here. So we have Scuba Zane's little kind of submarine here. It has similar to Zane's kind of color scheme with the white and the gold, and not a ton of like light bluish stuff on here, but still good. And we have the nice dual molded canopy piece here, a couple of the ski poles up at the front. On the side, we use some stickers. You can see the sticker sheet over here. So we have a sticker on this slope there, sticker on this slope. Nice use of gold. We can fit a minifigure in here, which is very good. And then at the rear, we have this nice gold piece, and that can spin. So maybe a propeller there. This is pretty good. It's pretty simple. I liked putting it together. These bits on the side can fold up a little bit to kind of cover up some of the other maybe studs or colors you might not want to see in there, so that's really nice. I like that spins. Pretty noticeable gap up here. The canopy doesn't close completely or very well. It doesn't meet up with a lot of the other kind of design and lines and edges of other pieces there, so pretty big gap up here, pretty big gap up here. That's not the best. Sometimes I can forgive stuff. Sometimes I'm a little bit disappointed. This one, it's kind of on the border. It's not my favorite, so that's a little bit of a bummer, but it's kind of a side buildy type thing, and it is fun to have this be able to interact with other stuff in the set and other Ninjago sets, so that's pretty good. Or it's fine. I wish it wasn't as gappy, but that's okay. Also no like control panel or anything like that in there, which I'm glad it's not an extra sticker, but they could have put a printed thing in there. And then we have this kind of seabed landscape thing, which to me looks like almost like a shrine, like a water dragon shrine or something. We have kind of like steps or something with these gold ingots, a couple sea shells there, some gold tridents, and then it builds up into this this thing holding this dragon disc, which is a dual molded piece here, and it's got the translucent blue, and then it has the gold kind of dragon head there, so that's very nice to get. And we have a couple more of these kind of water spray kind of twirly things that Naya has on their accessory as well, so that's good. I don't know if this is something for the dragon or if it's something for Prince Kalmaar or whatever else. I actually haven't really watched much of the Ninjago shows or anything, so if any of this stuff makes sense to people who are familiar with the Ninjago lore, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comments. But this is a fine little side build for some landscape stuff here, and I'll kind of put that over to the side, as well as this mess of minifigures and their accessories here. And then the rest of the build is this water dragon here. So this is really interesting. It's big. It's a little bit hard for me to show, but fortunately there is some good articulation, which I can already kind of point out here, that allows for it to bend in certain ways to fit in my setup. But even just showing if it's stretched all the way out, it can be very, very long, and I don't know what the box says it is for dimensions. I can try to look here. It says it is 24 inches or 61 centimeters from tip to tail here, which is pretty sizable. I like that for a water dragon. I think it makes sense thematically, as this is kind of, it has something like an eel-like quality to it, or an alligator or something. So it's long and slender, and it can go through. If this is a water dragon, maybe it doesn't fly as much, even though it has wings. Maybe these are more like fins or something like that. So that's interesting. I will point out the stickers because there are some that are used here. There's one on the head there, which has kind of Naya's symbol. Then on the side, we have a sticker here, and then two more on this side. And if we look on the other side, under the wing there, or we can see just a little bit there, and there. So those are the stickers. So only, 6, 7 stickers used on the... Is that right? 7 stickers used on the dragon, and then 2 on the little submarine thing here. So not too bad, all things considered, and they were easy enough to put on, so that's really nice. You can see this uses cloth wings. These are printed really nice. The production works good. They have some extra little holes in there, which is interesting. I don't know if that helps or hurts it in flight or in the water, but that's okay. And I think I like these cloth ones more than I like kind of the film sort of plastic ones that are a little more rigid and a little shinier, but I don't know if they'll hold up as well long term. So I actually like these a little bit more. I think these will hold or like just will stay better longer. And you know, these were just folded up in a small little cardboard box that was in one of the bags instead of coming in like a sheet that you have to punch them out of. And it feels like these will stand the test of time a little better for me, but they really work here. So there's a lot of stuff to look at, and I'll kind of go in the order you build it a little bit, but you start building kind of the main body here, and it uses a lot of gray. There's some good piece usages in there, some interesting build stuff to accommodate the things, the little arms, or these Technic bits for the wings, not the arms, but whatever the wing elements are. So you have to accommodate that in there. It's not all that wide in the middle, so some interesting building techniques in there, which I really appreciated, and I like to see. I think the color blocking on this is really strong. The kind of dark bluish gray to the like light blue to the blue to the kind of dark blue or purple. I'm not sure what this is. I think that's all really, really smart. If we look at the head, like many Ninjago dragons, this has a special molded head piece here. It is printed, like the eyes and all these scales on the side are printed. Up here it's printed, and then it has the sticker up top. The teeth are also printed really, really well. It can open. The lower jaw also has the printed teeth there, which is great. So this is a really nice looking thing. We have a little bit of gold up there, kind of more of those water things. That is attached with a ball joint here at the base of the neck, so the head can move kind of all around. There's another ball joint here, which is good. And then kind of right where the neck meets the torso, there's one of those kind of ratchet joints, but there's not a ton of movement. You can't really move it down anymore to decrease that angle, just because there's just not enough clearance. You can move it up maybe 1 notch. You can turn it a little bit, not a ton, but it is a really strong connection, which feels good, and you get enough movement from the other ball joints up here that I think the articulation is quite good. If we look at the front legs, I think the styling of the legs is really good, kind of this nice curve there. Those use the ratchet kind of joint pieces here, so they can flare out, they can turn back and forth, which is good, and kind of position it, and it can stand under its own weight. At the base, we do have the big ball joints again. I really like how these feet were done. A little bit blocky at the back. Would have maybe liked something to round out the back of this brick here, but other than that, pretty good. 3-toed, has a nice hint of gold there. So both of the front legs are pretty strong. We build out the rest of the back. There is a little handlebar yoke type piece here, and I think Naya or Zane could potentially hold on to that to be positioned on here if this dragon was to be mounted and ridden or rode, which is nice. There's a little bit of an action feature here, which is integrated really, really well, and that's by pressing down. There's a little bit of Technic beam that pops up through right there, and that just actuates kind of these center wing flanges or fingers or whatever there. So it goes up and down, and I think that's pretty nice. So it just works. I didn't know how it was going to work when I was putting it together, but it works well. If we look now, kind of getting into the rest of the body, it slims down a lot right in here, but that's good. The shaping of this is really nice. We get to kind of one of the main joining parts here, which we can see we have some Technic bushings there to get those together. So it uses those modified plates with the holes, and you kind of stack those up opposingly, and then you put a Technic axle through there and put some Technic bushings on there. I thought I wasn't going to like that. I actually think it works pretty well. It's not too noticeable here. I do like that there's not like a ton of axle sticking out, and you could potentially fashion something to kind of cover it up a little bit more coming off the bottom of either of these pieces. So that's nice. Then we have the hind legs here. Nice, again, use of the different kind of patterning, the color blocking, the curves there are nice. The kind of little hints of the translucent, like the little pyramid pieces here, the little tooth pieces there are really quite good. The legs are pretty similar, again, on these ratchet joint pieces, so they can kind of bend, they can flare out, they can go forward and back. I have them positioned pretty far back right now, just so this has a nice angle when it's sat down, but the feet are quite good. I do like that the ones on the rear have kind of these flipper elements here, minifig flippers that kind of can break up the kind of just square back of the feet, so that's very nice. Interesting piece used for the tail, and I'll pop it off and show what that looks like. We have two pin brick here, and we have this piece, which is like a triangle with the two pins coming off of it, and again we put one of the Technic axles with the stud at the top through, bushing on the bottom. There is a piece in the middle there as well, which is clipped on inside here. So that's all really good, and then they can kind of hide that a little bit with this nice little translucent pyramid piece. And so that fits in there snugly. It allows for, this can pivot here, front and back. This can pivot here, and then the rest of the tail is 5 segments, and they use the really interesting pieces that allow for a ton of articulation here. Not much up and down, so it's not just all ball joints, which occasionally a LEGO Dragon will do. They'll have a lot of ball joints kind of going through all the way back here. I think this works better for this type of dragon. I think it looks better. It kind of like doesn't expose the joints as much, which is really, really nice to see. You don't have as much weird kind of dark bluish gray or black or different stuff in there. So I really, really like to see that. And I think it is a bit unruly on my desk here, but I really, really like that. I think the color blocking, again, is really, really strong on this tail. So some of these bits are pretty much identical or definitely identical. Same once you get up here. These are pretty similar, but they work really, really nicely. Again, I like the use of the fins all the way down there, like the mini figure flippers there, which works thematically. It's also a nice piece usage there, a nice little detail. It does have the kind of translucent inverted tiles all the way under there, which we can see a little bit. And this tail is really, really long and really, really fluid, so it can really kind of go back and forth and feels like it can slink along and also go through the water really, really nice, like an eel, like a snake, like a crocodile might use its tail, or different dragons. So that plus the legs and the arms, or both of the hind legs and the front legs, as well as the wings, it uses these flag pieces up here, which can kind of be another thing that it can use to glide. It can kind of go up and down like this, but it could also go kind of side to side like this to propel itself through the water. So I think that's really great. The end of the tail looks really nice. It uses, again, some of these water translucent kind of twirly pieces there. The piece that joins all these tails together is not one I'm super familiar with. It's kind of this piece here. It's like a 2x4 plate with this vertical bar coming off of it, and then the receiving end is a 2x4 plate with kind of this like claw assembly type thing coming off of it, and it just clips right in there. I think I've encountered these types of pieces in really old Lego sets for maybe trains or maybe truck hitches or different things for trailers. I think I have some of these pieces from way back in the day. It's nice to see them here in color matched really well, so that's great. It just works, I think, phenomenally for this dragon. So that's pretty much it. There's no like stud shooters, bolt shooters, anything like that on here, but just a really big, really articulatable, or a really big model that you're able to articulate and position in a lot of different ways. I think it's got a nice presence, visual weight. It doesn't feel like it's too slender anywhere. It feels just about right to me, which is really a credit to the designers. I think the use of stickers is kind of subtle. I mean, they're a little bit hard to see even because of the wings and because of these kind of flag elements there. So you could kind of lose those a little bit, and I think that's really smart. I'm glad I didn't have to put stickers all the way down the side. I'm glad I didn't have to put stickers all the way down the back on the tail here, and I don't think it needs it. So that's really smart. And the headpiece is great. Production works good. I do like these wings a lot. The function, it's not revolutionary. It is just okay, but it has a function either way, which is good. And I lost a toe here, or a claw, so get that back on there. I think this is a really great set, a great model, a great dragon, and thematically works really well. So when we take that all together, we have the dragon with some of the specialized pieces here, and then we have the little sub, we have the kind of seabed landscape bit here. We have 5 minifigures, which are really unique. I think Prince Kalmaar and NRG Nia are the particular standouts to me. Those are really special in my opinion. Some good accessories. The other 3 minifigures, Scuba, Zane, and the Maaray guards, are also very good. And I think this is super fun. So this set is 737 pieces, and I paid $70 for this set. Now I believe this set initially retailed for $70, and then it went up to $80 or $90 when LEGO increased some of their prices. I think this has been sold out on the LEGO website for a while, so I guess it's not retired necessarily, but it kind of is, I think. Like, I don't think they're making it anymore. The one that I got was sealed, in a store, and that store didn't really raise their prices when LEGO raised their prices. So it's nice that I can find sets, including sometimes I'll find old sets from 7, 8, 9 years ago. They're sealed still with their original price. So this one I just paid the original $70 for. I think that's a super fair deal. I think this dragon is easily worth $50 or so worth of LEGO with the specialized parts and all the interesting stuff here, and then just by the sheer mass of it and the sheer size of it, I think that makes sense that this might be $50 or more. And then these little side build things might be $5, might be more, depending on how you value those. And then like $5 each rather. And then the minifigures, depending on how you value those. Now I haven't looked at the secondary market because Bricklink has been having some issues, but there are other ways to check maybe the aftermarket value of something like Prince Kalmaar or the NRG Nia here, and I'll have to look into those. But they were really cool to me, really interesting, unique for me to see, so I'm very glad to have them in my collection. Kind of despite what the value are, they are pretty unique and valuable to me for that reason. So I think $70 for this is super fair. I think $80, I probably still would have picked it up if it was between this and, like I said, there was another Ninjago Dragon that had 747 pieces, so 10 more pieces than this, and was also $70. And it's one that I might look at in the future, but I went for this one because it was a little bit different from the other dragons I have looked at, and I thought the minifigure selection was way more interesting to me, and I think that remains true, but I'll have to see when I look at that other one to confirm. But I think this is a really great set, and I think I got a good deal on it. I'll show the extra pieces here, which you do get an extra of some of the minifigure accessories like the katana and the sai in both the gold and the kind of gunmetal. You get your 1x1s, your studs, the little mask piece for Ninjago characters, the blast piece you get an extra of, some other gold stuff in there, a bunch of little pieces there for your extra pieces, so it's good to get those. And like I say, 737 pieces for $70 feels about right, 10 cents per piece. Specialized pieces like the dragon head, the cloth pieces here, which are very nice, not an overuse of stickers, which is good. Really unique minifigures with high production quality, tons of detail, and great accessories. So I think I got a great deal, and this was a real joy to build and a joy to have, and I can't wait to take a look at some other Ninjago Dragons. If you have favorite Ninjago Dragon sets, leave it in the comments. Let me know what I should take a look at. I know there's the one with like 4 heads that looks really interesting to me, but there's a lot of other Ninjago Dragons that I would love to take a look at. Or I don't know if there's other themes that have dragons. I think there might be Monkey Kid might have dragons, but let me know about your other Lego dragons, and maybe I'll take a look at them. This was a really great deal, a lot of fun, super cool model, so I'm very happy with it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. And if you like my other videos here, make sure you click that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the LEGO videos I'll be doing here in the future, including more Ninjago Dragons, more Ninjago stuff from like the new wave that's coming out next year, and old stuff, retired stuff, all different stuff. But also other sets besides Ninjago and besides dragons. So all different themes, all different shapes, sizes, price points, piece counts, tons of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming LEGO videos. And if you want to support this channel and support my videos here, because I pay for everything with my own money, and I'm perfectly happy to do that, but you can support me right here on YouTube with memberships and supers and thanks and all of that fantastic stuff, which is appreciated. And I still have the Patreon. It's in the video description on my channel page, patreon.com/sobricks, and you can get access to all my videos early, get access to some exclusive videos, and some other stuff in the works there, so maybe consider checking that out. Every little bit helps, and I do appreciate it, so thank you very much. And with all of that said, until next time, thanks, bye.